Hello people, so it's the 31st of January and today I have been trying to book some viewings for potential houses for my first buy to let. To no avail really. I can show you the two I've looked at. So this is the first one and it's in our Goldmine area. 100,000 is actually pretty cheap at the moment, so I think this is why, no surprise why this one's gone actually. So it was on for like maybe a day and a half. I rang the agent, said, can I book a viewing? He said, we're doing block bookings this morning, so we're not taking any more because we expect to get an offer and they're probably going to accept. So I can take your name and I can give you a call back if anything changes. So they didn't ring, nothing changed. So that was a 3-bed in our Goldmine area. Probably, I mean, it's actually quite nice inside. Done out like probably to what you'd expect for like a buy to let. I mean, maybe those walls don't look great. It's always difficult to tell on the pictures really. So yeah, that's I'd say maybe 600, 625 in the area. And then the next one was cheaper. This one was a terraced, again in our thingy, but it's actually greyed out. So that came online 2 days ago. Tried to ring them this morning and it was the same story. We're doing block bookings, but we'll give you a call back. So yeah, same story. I mean, that one's a little bit cheaper. It's probably not as quite a nice as area, but this one definitely needed more work doing to it. Probably like standard refurb. Definitely looks like it needs a new kitchen and some TLC in all the rooms. So yeah, the march will continue. Last week I had my survey done on mine and my girlfriend's house to pull some money out, because that's the way we're funding this, me and my brother, my business partner. So now I'm just on Rightmove and I'm going to have a look to see if I can book any viewings. So I managed to book a viewing for this on Thursday. Probably definitely the top end of our budget, but it's quite nicely done out, so we'll see what it's like when we go around on Thursday. So this is another example of what I was talking about before. So you can see this one was originally put on the market at 105 and it's, as of yesterday, it got reduced to 100. So I think people are still asking for a lot of money for these houses. You know, that's a 2-bed terrace in Wallasey, and you know, Wallasey is a good area. It is an area we're looking to invest in, but I think it just shows that people are trying to like push the boat a bit too far, I think. And you know, it's been on the market since the 2nd of December, so it's been on quite a while actually for the moment. So that does show that it is way too overpriced. Try and do this sort of every day to look at what's on the market and then try and book viewings. I need to get into the habit of doing it early in the day though, because they get booked up really quickly, so I might start incorporating it into my lunch times at work, but we'll see how we get on. Saturday at 1:15, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. So this is a classic estate agent, booked interview at 4 o'clock, come straight from work, and I've just rang the agent because there's no one here, so she's just chasing up with the viewing guy, so hopefully he turns up soon. But I have it quite a few times where people just don't turn up, so if you're new to looking for investment property, I'd say probably get used to that. So the lady from the office just rang me back and said there was a diary error, so the viewing agent should be here within the next 5 to 10 minutes hopefully, which again is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. So this is like a little cul-de-sac in Wallasey. I did look before when I was filling in our Notion page, and I think this maybe get 600 to 650 a month. And I'll have to double check the numbers on terms of gross yield and return on equity employed. Want to know sort of rough refurb figures. So I've just got back from the viewing. It was worth the wait because the agent was actually pretty good. Had loads of information about the property, which is actually pretty rare, but sounds like it was the landlord who was selling it who was forthcoming with that info. Overall, the property was good. He'd done all new carpets and new blinds in most of the rooms. So like, and this is the sort of stuff I think like most landlords should do before they sell properties, because I think like it creates the perception of a higher value house. So it's up for 150. It's probably maybe a little bit towards the top end of our budget. But in terms of comparables, I've seen one around the corner for 650. But this one's definitely nicer. So I reckon you could push the rental ceiling price to 675. So I have to jump on Notion and have a look at what that impacts the numbers like, and then think of an offer from that. But they've already had a cash offer asking, so I don't think we're gonna get it. Gas safety and boiler were done this year. Integrated smoke alarm, EPC rating of a C. Had 2 tenants in 8 years, and it's actually like a cul-de-sac, so it's pretty good. Just off the main road in Wallasey. Newly decorated, plastered in 2013, so it's like white walls everywhere and like grey carpet, which is just standard what you need. The bathroom and the kitchen were probably pretty tired, but I reckon you could rent it out, and it was actually pretty good. At the back there was a utility room, which is good to save space, but yeah, the bathroom and the kitchen were pretty tired, but you could probably get away with renting out straight away, and then down the line when you start making a bit of cash flow, you could reinvest that back into it. Yeah, and then they've got all the maintenance records for the boiler and stuff like that. So yeah, overall it was a good house, like good size. Obviously box rooms are pretty small, but for a 3-bed it was pretty good. Like a through open room downstairs. But yeah, it was good. Sort of thing we're looking for. Obviously not the right price at the moment, but we'll carry on for the next one on Saturday. So I'm just looking over the numbers of the property I viewed yesterday. Now, speaking to the agents, they did say that they had a cash offer at asking price. So even though it was a good deal, it was probably a little bit overpriced for us at the moment, and we were never going to be able to match a cash offer at asking price either. But it's just a good process to go through. So I'll show you what I use. So we have a property pipeline on a piece of software called Notion. So then there's how much your mortgage payment would be, management fees if you went through a estate agent, some insurance, some voids. That will be your monthly cash flow, and then you've got your gross yield and your return on equity employed. Now this probably is a little bit below what I'd be looking for, probably looking for at least 7% gross yield and return on capital employed. Ideally 12%, but definitely over 11. So this is something we might actually have to change going down the line if we can't find any deals that fit it. So I think it's actually the purchase price which bumps this over. Morning guys, so it's Saturday today and I am going to meet a family member shortly because they're opening an Airbnb local to where we live. So he just wants me to offer some advice and go over some stuff. So if you've not seen my Airbnb videos on the channel, please check them out. And I'm just currently looking at some competitors in the area and what they're charging per night, so we can get an idea of nightly rates, which is super important when you're looking at your Airbnb. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go for my second viewing of the week, because I've not been able to get any more because they've all been booked up or I've not had a chance to book them. So we're going to the second viewing. It's on for 125, not too sure what to expect, but yeah, going to meet the agent there at 1:30. So yeah, that's what I've got planned today. So I've just finished my viewing on the property on Woodchurch Road. It's on for 125. It's definitely overpriced. It's difficult to tell because it's quite a grey there and it's quite a dark house, but it looked like it needed like a lot of cosmetic stuff doing to it. Like it just didn't look nice. The agent did say it's previously been rented out, but it's been vacant for a while, and you can sort of tell that anyway. But yeah, it just needed everything doing. I mean, like the room sizes were good. Bathroom was really big, and it's sort of like it was like 3 stories, so there was a loft conversion, and those rooms up there were big, but just the way it was decorated, it was dark. The carpet wasn't very nice. It was like a plaster, like when something's been freshly plastered. They painted everywhere that colour, which was a bit weird. And then like out the back, there's just like a garage that backs onto like the patio at the back. The location, I mean, it's on a main road. There is like a shop over the way. It's not the greatest area in the world. I'd worry about parking. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. But she did say they've had offers below the asking price, which doesn't surprise me. So when I get back in, I'll jump on Notion and crunch some numbers and see what I think. But I think you probably have to throw a couple of grand at it, I think,
maybe all the way up to 10, maybe even 15, just to get it to a decent standard. Because it didn't look great, and I think if you let it out as it is now, I don't think you get the best tenants in there, which is to be avoided. And then she said maybe 550, 600 rent, based on the area. So yeah, I'll crunch some numbers, and then she said she's going to give me a call on Monday, so I'll chase up with her then.
So as we can see there, 125 purchase price. This deal is not very good at the purchase price. I've estimated the refurb are about 7.5. I reckon you can find loads of stuff to spend money on here, and I wasn't too convinced. I think one side on the roof, the chimney was coming away, or a bit on a slant. So yeah, I reckon it cost a decent wage. So at 125, you're looking at a deposit of 31, and your gross yield 5%. Tenant equity 5.7, which is even worse. So yeah, I think it's still pretty tough out there to get your first buy to let. I think speaking to a couple of agents, they're not getting as much stock, so they're not getting as many new properties on the market. So any of the decent ones that are going on are absolutely flying off the shelves. So yeah, it's still pretty tough at the moment. I don't think it's quite as busy as it was last year, because I was viewing stuff last year as well. Sort of last summer was really bad. But yeah, it's still pretty busy, and I think prices are generally still pretty inflated. So the good news is I've had some information from our remortgage. So the money should be with us within the next 10 days, which is good news, because we had a proper nightmare with this. We were meant to get the money last year, so my brother done the same thing, and he got his last year. We were meant to get ours last year. It came out for the survey, and then Nationwide, I was speaking to my broker, and they were just being really, really slow, and then the actual mortgage offer expired. So we had to get a survey done again, and that got done on the 24th of January, so when it's all come through. So we pulled out 22.5, and my brother's pulled out a similar amount, so we're going to use that as our little war chest. So I'm going to be doing these vlogs hopefully every week, documenting my journey to our first buy-to-let and building my property portfolio. So if you're interested, please hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on, so you know when these videos are going to be posted. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.